Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in once again to Queen Ahmadiyyah TV presents Beyond the Realm. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel. If you haven't done so already, be sure to click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyyah, on Instagram at divine_goddess_27, Brighton and Patreon at Queen Ahmadiyyah, Twitter at dgoddess27, melanated people at Queen Ahmadiyyah. Okay, so let's get into it. So we're going to be talking about the Whaley house. Okay, the Whaley house. And after we finish this one, I'm going to do another one. All right. And then we're going to talk about the haunted tales and history of Savannah, Georgia. That's on the next broadcast. So let's get into it about this Whaley house. Now, they actually made a documentary about this and a movie. So I'm going to show you a clip, the trailer to the movie, okay? So in the beginning, while the story of the Whaley house's origins may seem as simple and innocent as any family history, the truth is, many believe that this home was destined to be haunted before it was even ever built. You see, the property was the site of one of the town's most famous public executions. Okay, somebody was executed on the property. Now, this is one of the town's most famous executions. So with that all being said, the property was the site of the most famous execution that was also shown in public. And it was that of the hanging of the infamous thief known as Yankee Jim Robinson. But Thomas Whaley was not doubted by this fact. So in 1855, he purchased the land, and he shortly thereafter began construction on what would turn out to be his family home. Even though people warned him that there had been an execution there and that the grounds might be haunted, he didn't care. He had set his eyes and sights on that piece of property, and so he bought it anyway. Now, the house, which was the first brick house in California, was a beautiful example of Greek revival architecture. Thomas, his wife Anna, and their 3 children moved into the house in 1857. And within a few hours or a few months, they opened a general store inside the residence. But it wasn't long after the Whaley family moved inside the home that sadness and despair happened upon them. And it was thrust onto them so quickly they couldn't believe it. It was quite unexpected. First, their young son, Thomas, who was only 18 months old, died of scarlet fever inside the house. And remember, people had warned him of the property, the execution. They said it was haunted, and they told him that surely sadness and grief and horror would befall him, but he bought it anyway. Now, then a few months after the 18-month-old son Thomas died, a fire raged within the home, destroying the general store. Soon after, Thomas decided to move the family to San Francisco. Several years later, in 1868, the Whaley family, which now included Thomas, his wife, and their 5 children, they returned to the home. Once the family returned, the Whaley house was again bustling with activity. Now, it became the headquarters for the city courthouse, San Diego's first theater troupe, and a general store and more. But in 1870, local merchants began to move to the newly established new town, which is now the Gaslamp Quarter, abandoning Old Town and leaving it eerily quiet. Thomas Whaley was not one to give up, and he continued to live in his home. Then in 1871, Thomas was away on a business trip, and a group of armed men held Anna Whaley at gunpoint as they seized the courthouse records from the home. This, many say, was a turning point for the family and the house. Then several years after that, 2 of Whaley's daughters got married inside the home. Violet, the younger of the 2, married George Bertolazzi, and although she gave it her best effort, the marriage was unbearable, leaving Violet divorced and full of grief and despair. just like they had been warned about before they had the house built. Now, she was so wrought with depression that she decided that she could not live with the shame. And then she ended up shooting herself shot herself in the chest on August the 18th of 1885. Now, over the years, many descendants of the Whaley family lived and died in that house, including Thomas, Anna, and their children, Lillian, Thomas, Violet, and Francis. During its restoration periods, which took several different times to finish throughout the home's history, workers and visitors began to notice strange and mysterious sounds, sights, aromas, and encounters. Now, the first and most well-known ghost that lingered within the house and on the grounds was that of Yankee Jim Robinson, as he had died right on the spots where the home was actually built. Now, the infamous criminal made eerie noises, loud footsteps, and left disembodied footprints, continually scaring Whaley family members throughout their lifetimes. Baby Thomas, who had been the first in the family to pass away at the age of 18 months, had always stayed close by, as reported by many who had visited the home. They could hear tiny little footsteps and the sounds of him crying, sometimes even giggling when no one was even in sight. Now, others report seeing a young woman lingering on the second floor of the house. They believed it to be the poor Violet, still consumed with her sorrow. She seemed to stay close to the second floor, where she spent much of her time after her divorce right before she had committed suicide. It is said that the areas within the home became quite cold and that her presence is often felt throughout. Now, Thomas, Anna, and several other spirits have also been felt within the home. On the stairwells of the property, that's the main place people would see activity. Many have seen Thomas dressed in his frock, coat, and a top hat standing at the top of the stairs. Others say they could smell the aroma of French perfume, which was Anna's favorite scent. Mist, lights turning on and off by themselves, crystals in the music rooms, lamps swinging about without anyone prompting them, all signs that the Whaley house still belonged to the many who lived there in the home over the years. Now, the hauntings continue to this day. Although no one has lived in the house since 1953, the spirits of the dead are still there waiting for the visitors to arrive. Workers on site and guests who've toured the house, they tell many accounts and stories of unusual and spooky encounters. Some say they've seen a figure looking out the upstairs window long after the house has been closed for the day. Others have seen curtains moving, even though all of the windows in the home have been sealed shut. The sounds of children running up and down the stairs can be heard without anyone being seen. Footsteps, cold spots, the appearance and disappearance of guests, or the disappearance of shadows have all been seen. They've been felt and heard by guests. Now, are these stories true? Well, no one knows, but these are the things that people say. And if you want to find out how real this is and if it's really and truly haunted, you can go take a visit there for yourself and find out, because they have tours available and they have a number that you can call online. You can just go sign up for one of the tours and order your tickets and go visit this place yourself. That is, if you dare. As for me, I don't visit haunted places, okay? That's what I don't do. So now, with that all being said, I'm going to show you a trailer of a movie they made about this house. Everyone, please like and share the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Click the notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. So let's look at this trailer and see if it looks spooky enough.
Approach.
When I first started working here, my predecessor gave me 3 rules to live by. Don't call the ghosts out. They hate that. Don't damage the house. They're very territorial. Never, never go inside the house at night.
Just stop it, okay? Leave me alone.
I don't know about you all, but after seeing that trailer, I'm definitely not going to that house. Okay. Thanks, but no thanks. All right. Oh, Aaron said, I was just thinking, was there a movie? Yes, there is. And I also heard, I believe there's a documentary on Netflix. So you can look into that. I think someone told me there's a documentary. Sweet Pea said, no, me, not me, the queen. Woke One says, I'm interested. Well, you go right on ahead, Woke One. When you get back, if you do, you be sure to tell us all about it, okay? Well, that's like them white people. They like a scare factor. Well, I sure don't. Says Baby Doll. Tracy says, Queen, it didn't look scary, but the conductor did. That lady looked real scary. Yes, absolutely. So with that all being said, that is the story of the Waverly House. And like I said, I don't want to go there, but they do offer tours and all of those things. And most people would likely go around Halloween, I guess, but I'm not for that. So I'm going to conclude the broadcast, but I'm going to be coming right back because we're going to talk about the haunted history of Savannah and talk about some of the places there that are supposedly the most haunted. And if you know anything about Savannah, you know that's a ghost story all within itself, okay? So with that all being said, thank you all for tuning in. Make sure you like and share the video. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click the notification bell. Click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. Also on Instagram at divine_goddess_27. Brighton and Patreon at Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. Twitter at dgoddess27. And also on Melanated People at Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur. So I hope to see you all right back in the text.